what do I do? Because this email isn't like, we might pick you. It's like, if you're available, we're gonna send you to Japan type of thing. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is gonna be kind of like a little park and bark type of story time. Life has been crazy in Orlando. I've been juggling work and rehearsals / shows for ragtime, along with just everyone in Orlando deciding to have auditions right now. So auditions have been crazy, submissions have been crazy, callbacks have been crazy. It's just been a really crazy time to be an actor in Orlando, which is both a good and a not so good thing. But I think it's very important as an actor to kind of know your limits and know what you really can and can't do and what you really want to do as a performer. Because although saying yes is great, especially when you're first starting out, once you start getting established and kind of knowing what you like doing, what you don't like doing, like, it's okay to say no. There's really no problem with that. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So as you can tell by the title of the video, I was offered an international contract in Japan that I ultimately turned down. And we're going to be talking about how this contract came to be, what this contract is, and why I ultimately turned it down. So let's backtrack all the way back to July of 2021. That's when this journey all started. So I had submitted for an international contract that I've submitted for multiple years in a row. This is probably like my 4th year submitting for it at this point. And it's a big worldwide search for a theme park in Japan. I guess I can tell you what it is. It's Universal Studios Japan. Japan and Beijing. But so they do a whole international search. It's normally in person, but because of COVID and stuff like that, they did stuff through submissions and completely online, basically. So you submit material for whatever you're submitting for, and then if they like you, they will send you callback material and go through different rounds of callbacks and like the whole 9 yards. Very normal. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be kind of like a little park and bark type of story time. Life has been crazy in Orlando. I've been juggling work and rehearsals / shows for ragtime, along with just everyone in Orlando deciding to have auditions right now. So auditions have been crazy, submissions have been crazy, callbacks have been crazy. It's just been a really crazy time to be an actor in Orlando, which is both a good and a not so good thing. But I think it's very important as an actor to kind of know your limits and know what you really can and can't do and what you really want to do as a performer. Because although saying yes is great, especially when you're first starting out, once you start getting established and kind of knowing what you like doing, what you don't like doing, like, it's okay to say no. There's really no problem with that. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So as you can tell by the title of the video, I was offered an international contract in Japan that I ultimately turned down. And we're going to be talking about how this contract came to be, what this contract is, and in previous years, I've submitted for singer roles, I've submitted for actor roles, and I found that I've gotten a lot more success in the female actor category. So that's what I've been submitting for lately. So I submitted for female actors, and I believe I picked a specific character for it. It wasn't just like a general thing. And then I got my callback, which I had gotten in the years prior, and then this time, along with the callback, or after that round, I'd been selected for final callbacks, which I had never made it to this round before. So I was like, oh, this is like we're getting far this time, which involved interviews with the casting team, just to kind of make sure you're ready for what the contract has in store, and they give you details on what the contract is actually like and what you're provided and amenities and everything like that. So it was all becoming very real once I was in final callbacks. And at this point, it's probably like fall of 2021. And I finished all my material and then was just kind of waiting to hear. And I waited for a very long time. They had kind of taken a long time to get back to people because things in the world were changing. Countries were closing their borders, opening their borders. It was very complicated getting visas and everything for people they've submitted and picked for these roles from all over the country. So eventually, I think it was around, it was either like, it was supposed to be around like Christmas time. I was supposed to hear, but I think it ended up being somewhere into 2022, like after the new year, that I ended up hearing that I was not selected to go to Beijing or Japan for this role, which the role I was in final callbacks for was for Princess Fiona, which would be like an absolute dream. I think it would be so much fun. Japan and China have some really great entertainment in general for their theme parks, not just for Universal, for Disney and all of their parks. They're very high caliber entertainment with parades and shows and with their meet and greets and everything. So it's a really great opportunity and I would have loved to do it. But I was ultimately not selected, which they had said in the email partially was due because Japan had closed their borders, so they could not offer any new contracts to Japan. So that was about half the contracts they wanted to give out for Princess Fiona could not have been given out. So, and at this point, I forget what the exact numbers were, but I had asked about how many people were narrowed down to, and by final callbacks they were down to the top 30 girls, I believe, and between the two parks they wanted to have around 5 girls per park, so that would have been 10 girls total that would have gotten offers for this specific role. So I had basically a 1/3 chance of getting it, which I mean, compared to a lot of like international contracts and just like big calls like this, it's a pretty good shot. Especially being narrowed down to just the top 30 out of the thousands that have submitted is a pretty great accomplishment. I was really proud of myself. But I ultimately wasn't picked, and it was kind of a sigh of relief at that point, because with it becoming so real and thinking like, I'm gonna have to move across the country to a country I've never been to, know nothing about, don't speak the language, and live on my own and leave everything I have here behind, meaning my apartment, Cole. I mean, we wouldn't break up or anything, like we'd continue on and just do long distance, which would obviously be very difficult for both of us, but we knew that this was something that would be a once in a lifetime opportunity, and he wanted me to do it. It would just obviously be hard and we'd get over it. And this would be for 13 months, this contract, let me add. So it's a long time, over a year. But yeah, leaving everything behind, all the progress I made with companies down here, just kind of leaving it all behind to go work in Japan or Beijing for 13 months. So I was kind of relieved when I didn't book it. It was kind of like, whew, all right, whatever's meant to happen is meant to happen. Everything happens for a reason. I wasn't meant to book it this year, no big deal. There are plenty of other auditions out there that I can go to and put my hard work into. Now, come a couple days ago, I get an email from one of the casting directors from Japan saying, hi Brianna, hope your year is going well. Are you still interested and available in a contract in Japan? Please let me know ASAP. And I was like, what do I do? Because this email isn't like, we might pick you. It's like, if you're available, we're gonna send you to Japan type of thing. It's like, do I wanna go? Do I wanna do it? Do I not wanna do it? I have a contract lined up here in Florida that I will be announcing next week, so stay tuned for that. But I had a contract I just booked that I was very excited about down here, so I'd have to leave that behind, and on top of like, me and Cole's birthdays are coming up in the summer, and I have a big family vacation planned at the end of the summer, and I just kind of like had all these things planned and like really didn't want to miss them, and my family didn't want me to miss them either. So I was like, I really love to finish out what I have planned for the summer, and then I'd be ready to go to Japan mid-August. That's kind of what I emailed them back saying. Just, I wanted to be open and honest, and I wanted to see if there was any room for compromise. I didn't know when the contracts were starting. They didn't say that in the initial email, so I had no idea what their plans were or how long it would even take to get visas and all the stuff you would need prior to actually leaving. So a couple days went by, I never heard anything, so I was like, well, oh well, whatever. Then they finally got back to me and they said, Brianna, thank you so much for your interest. Unfortunately, we are looking for people to go to Japan in June, which it's May, literally a month away. So with your restraints, it doesn't seem like this would be a good fit, but we hope that you'll audition for us again next year. So essentially they told me I wasn't going to be picked because I told them I wasn't gonna be available till August, which I wouldn't say is disappointing. I mean, again, I have so many other things lined up and like goals for myself here in Orlando that it's like, there's always gonna be other auditions, but it's like, oh my God, I literally could be in Japan next month. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, it was essentially my decision and I turned it down. But I don't regret it, and I will audition again next year, and hopefully maybe next year will be the year and everything will just work out and what's meant to be is meant to be, and who knows, it would be pretty freaking cool. But yeah, if you're a fellow actor and you're kind of debating between contracts, or you don't know if you should say yes to something because you don't think it's really the right fit, there's no wrong in saying no, because I mean, you don't want to just regret everything you're doing and go through a contract and actually hate it and find out that something better could have been coming up your way. You just kind of got to stick with your guts. Yeah, that's kind of the little story, the little life update. Again, I will have a more life update next week, announcing what my next contract is going to be. So stay tuned for that. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I post every Thursday at 6 p.m. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, tell all your friends about this channel, and I will see you guys next week, Thursday at 6 p.m. Bye!